Aiden, where are you? It's time to record the podcast.
What?
Oh, there you are.
What?
Aiden,
What did he say?
it's time to record the podcast.
The podcast? I thought we ended that. One episode in.
No, the world needs the chuckle sandwich replacement.
We can continue the chuckle sandwich. It never ended.
Aiden, just say the name, just so I know.
Welcome to Spice Boys.
Say it again.
Welcome to Spice Boys.
Welcome to Spice Boys.
Welcome to Spice Boys.
Welcome to Spice Boys. Episode 2.
That has to be the best intro that we've ever done. Second intro, in fact. So I guess not a lot to beat, but
It's never
gonna get better than that.
Yep.
So much effort went into that beautiful intro. I bought this raincoat specifically for that intro. This looks so gross.
So, folks, listen. I've been doing many terrible things, and I don't really know how to judge my own self, my soul. You know, I've tried different things, but I thought, what if we sit down for a day, for this time that we're together?
Entire day.
Yeah, the entire day. So we thought, if we can compare ourselves to other people, like healthy people do,
Yeah, make us feel better about ourselves.
maybe we could fix our own problems. So we're going to be judging people today.
I love judging people. In fact, if you look back at the personality test, that's what I got.
Yeah.
I'm a judge.
Yeah. And listen, some of you might think, hey, it's not cool to judge people. That's sure, whatever. All right. You crazy person. But listen to this. All right. What if these people were scum on the earth? What if these people were
Exactly.
disgusting?
We need to be the judge executioner today, all right?
So to keep my moral high ground, we're only going to be judging Redditors today. So welcome to Am I the Asshole?
Because they are assholes, but we want to laugh at them.
I don't want to talk about what I did, but I need to know that I'm not terrible.
What did he do? What did he
I'm
do?
not talking about it.
To
Where is
preference, I have no idea what we're looking at. Easy apparently found a secret list. Perfect for this.
First one.
Okay.
The pasta sauce. Okay, this sounds dumb, but hear me out. I have always been a picky eater, especially when it comes to tomatoes. Ever since I was a kid, my dad would make my spaghetti different from the rest of the house. I like having an essence of the sauce flavor on the noodles, but not the overpowering flavor having noodles bathed in sauce creates. So, here's where it gets a bit odd. My dad would separate my spaghetti from the family's after putting the sauce on and then would rinse the sauce off with a sink and strainer. I love noodles like this as it is a nice subtle tomato vibe given to the mild spaghetti. My boyfriend, 26, has known about this since we first started dating. He always told me my food habits were cute. We have been dating for almost 3 years now and moved in together at the beginning of the pandemic so we could be in lockdown together. Ever since we moved in together, he insisted on taking charge of cooking and all cooking related tasks, dishes, grocery shopping, etc., and he assigned me the role of cleaning the bulk of the apartment. We split other tasks pretty much 50 to 52. Everything was perfect and he always seemed so be making noodles the way I liked them when we had them. This was until last week when we last had spaghetti. We ate and everything was good, but afterwards he started teasing my, saying things like, "You really like your pasta with an essence of tomato," and "How is your tomato essence, babe?" Always using finger quotes around the word essence. After a few comments, I felt something was off and asked him if he had done anything differently with tonight's noodles than he usually does, and he started laughing. When he finally stopped laughing, he told me the whole truth while smirking. He said, "I didn't do anything different than I usually do. I have never been making it the way you have requested." Apparently the entire time we've been living together, he's just been skipping the pasta sauce on my noodles entirely. He claimed that if I didn't notice for this long, then it shouldn't matter that he is making dinner in a way that is easier for him. I disagree entirely. I think the lying was a huge breach of trust, and so was the refusal to make dinner how I wanted. I have admittedly been acting passive-aggressively to him since, but he thinks he did nothing wrong. That I'm overreacting, and that I need to let it go. Aida?
It sounds very important to this person that the pasta sauce is done the way that they want it to be done. I don't think it's that big of a deal, though.
No, she says she doesn't like pasta sauce on her pasta.
And they just never realized it for this long.
Yeah.
I feel like I could find myself doing something like this just to make a point, right?
I mean, if they I don't think it's that big of a deal.
I actually don't think it's that bad.
It's like, ha, I got you. Get pranked. Epic prank.
I mean, I feel like it's just a big overstep to, feel like there's a breach of trust.
I do also think it's funny. Yeah.
When your partner is like not telling you that they put sauce on your pasta.
Yeah.
They're a liar. They're a manipulator.
I do think it is funny how it's like an anime character when she asked him if she does anything.
I know.
If he did anything different, he's like, she don't even realize. I haven't done anything different the entire time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an anime arc. It's so dramatic.
Actually, it's just plain
Either
noodles.
your partner is a very evil anime villain, or you're probably kind of just blowing this out of proportion. Or personally for you, that you just really don't like pasta sauce. So
I don't think you gotta understand. She's eating just plain noodles. Plain spaghetti noodles.
No one could be an asshole over noodles.
You're not an asshole, but you are taking out of proportion.
No, obviously there's more context that we could have for this that could say that you're an asshole or say your partner's an asshole. So this hole's missing. But for what we know, no one's an asshole. Hit the stamp of fucked. I don't know.
All right. Here's the top response.
There's a response?
You both sound dreadful, TBH. The idea that putting pasta sauce on noodles and then rinsing it off would leave an essence of tomato flavor is objectively ridiculous, and more importantly, a really shockingly disgusting waste of pasta sauce. What your dad did was basically teach you to waste food whilst planting the idea in your head that you were tasting something that was all in your imagination. You can be pissed at your boyfriend, but the fact that you didn't notice the difference in all this time is indisputable evidence that he was right. You weren't tasting any essence of anything to begin with. It was a placebo effect. You feel betrayed, but honestly, you should be more embarrassed that you were asking someone to consistently waste sauce by putting it on your noodles and then literally washing it off again. First of all, there is no rational way that you could have tasted it after that. Secondly, people, myself included, literally struggle to make sure that they can afford to put food on their table at all. And you're bloody well pouring it out the jar and then washing it down the sink on purpose. Be embarrassed. Your BF is an AH, not for refusing to waste pasta sauce on you, honestly, good for him. But for being a dick about it and mocking you. He sounds like a really nasty human being, and I can't speak for you, but I wouldn't date someone who spoke to me that way. He should have just pointed out the complete wastefulness of what you wanted from the outset. Though I suspect that you wouldn't have listened, honestly. If you actually believe that washed pasta noodles still retain an essence of sauce. I'm going to guess that you believe in homeopathy as well.
Honestly, I'm leaning towards the side of the boyfriend, alright? Except he does sound like an anime villain, so I don't know. But I kind of agree with the boyfriend here.
There's one more thing here. If you think your boyfriend is the asshole for not refusing to waste pasta sauce on you, good for him.
Yeah. And if you think that's a breach of trust, maybe there's something bigger there that you should address.
If you're going to have like a week-long argument over it, yeah, you're the asshole.
Yeah, and break up. Leave each other.
Leave each other. You don't deserve love. Number 2, the performance review.
I, 33M, share one child, 6F, with my wife, 36F. She has another daughter, 13F, that lives with us full-time. We also have custody of our niece, 15F. The teens are each other's best friends. They share a large bedroom, which was done at their request. The dynamic here is pretty much mom and youngest against the teens, with me being the referee between everyone. My wife has taught the youngest she can blame others for her actions to avoid consequences. She just says the word, one of the teens will get punished without question. There's no doubt, she is my wife's favorite. I love her, but she's becoming nothing more than an entitled brat. As just a mere example, my wife and I had an appointment we both needed to attend. When we came back, it was apparent the pool had been used. They're not allowed to swim while we aren't home. As the youngest divulged, "Mommy, I was in my room coloring. I never went swimming." The teens said that was not true, she had gone swimming as well. Only the teens were punished. My wife refused to give the youngest any type of consequence. I later found her wet swimming suit hidden in the garage. My wife and I argued. I felt strongly she needed to not only be punished for swimming, but also for lying. After a relentless disagreement, I was silenced as she gave the youngest a very minimal consequence. The lying, blaming, and favoritism ultimately caused the teens to act out, understandably. Most of their consequences are done by giving more chores, specifically the chores the 6-year-old has. Or as recent, they were removed from music lessons as a consequence. I believe they're so frustrated they don't even care when they verbally attack their mother after her unfair treatment towards them. After all, they already get blamed and punished for things they don't even do. From my perspective, lashing out gives them a release. We have had countless, tiring arguments. She'd either not see her faults, or we'd agree to do this and that, but it was never actually done. I decided to write her a performance review, as a psalm. Her areas in need of improvement, well, it was a lot. But I touched on how she needs to listen better, stop being biased. Be fair in all her decisions, stop making rash decisions without taking all 3 kids into consideration. I recommended her to give each child the same amount of one-on-one alone time to speak, or just be with one another. So it wouldn't be an entirely slap to her face. I gave her accolades on her strong points for other areas aside from parenting. I guess I felt this would work best because I could organize my thoughts on paper without her interjecting. However, it quickly backfired in my face. She was quiet the first hour after I handed it to her. Then she completely exploded on me. Said if we're going to do this type shit, she'll get a private bank account and take half my paycheck every week. She further said the review was abusive and a manipulative sexist move. Aida?
I think he could have handled it a bit better. You know, maybe just sat her down privately and had a nice little conversation with her. But one thing I do want to say, she is just as consistent with punishments as Twitch is with their bans, bro.
Yeah.
Favoritism
at its finest.
Yeah,
listen,
man.
Everything up to the performance review. I'm spanking that kid. I'll tell you what. I'm spanking them kids. You go swimming, bang, bang, bang on the butt.
Yeah, I mean, you're raising a spoiled brat. That's what you're doing. I could see myself wanting to like prove like a bully wrong in that way by making like this over like exaggerated points. But this is your wife, bro.
He makes a performance review. He makes a performance review.
Yeah,
on his wife.
It's wild. It is wild.
And you gotta think he's over here. He's over here thinking like, this is the best way. This is the best way I can do this.
This reminds me of the last "Am I the Asshole?" because the partner was also trying to make a big point, right? Mm-hmm. By like doing like a little experiment almost. I think that was less harmful than this one.
To be fair, when you think about it, the last guy kind of just proved that her entire life was a lie.
Yeah, true. But I give him permission to do that. She was wild.
Here's the answer.
The concerns you have are legitimate and it needs an urgent solution. But the way you went about it is really unhealthy. The parenting of your children is not a project. You are not her boss. You are her husband and the father of her kid. Giving her a performance review comes across as really condescending and, as she said, manipulative.
I'm glad I'm on the right side of this.
Yeah. I think
that's crazy.
Yeah. I think everyone sucks is the perfect answer. Everyone sucks.
Yeah.
Especially the kids.
Yeah, the kid's a spoiled brat. But it's not their fault, ultimately. It's their parents' fault.
This one is named after an Adam Sandler movie. This one is called
4-Year-Old Virgin?
The Wedding Singer.
Oh, okay.
I just got married last week. My wife and I are both in our 30s. I am Mexican, and she is American, but we both grew up in the US and both our families know both languages. My wife planned every bit of the wedding and was a very controlling and nervous bride, but alright, I get that she was stressed. During the reception, I went to the band and asked them to play a song for me to sing to my new wife. It was Te Amare by Miguel Bosé. It was the song from our first date in a really bad Mexican restaurant. So it became a long-standing joke between us. The guests really loved the song. My Mill cried and told me it was beautiful, but my bride seemed upset. I asked her what was wrong and she said I am an asshole for taking the spotlight to enforce my ethnicity and not just let the band sing our song for us. Aida?
It's her day, but that's romantic. You're singing the first song that you ever listened to on your first date. That's romantic. All right, I think that's nice.
You both can do it. You can both make gestures.
Yeah.
to each
Listen,
other.
the entire wedding ceremony is about the girl. The girl walks out with a theme song in a full white dress. The only person wearing white.
That's true.
You know, you have the proper attire, and she gets all this stuff. Her father hands her over. She gets all the attention, and she's the bride. It's her day. You know, let the guy have one thing. And the one thing is for you.
Yeah, true.
Not the asshole. What a weird way to view what happened.
That's it. That's the top response.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a very emotional day. Very emotional. I wouldn't say she's correct. I can kind of see how she would have been upset. It's very petty and stupid, and not really a good thing to get upset about.
I do like how he pointed out that she was stressed out. So you don't want to hold it too much against her.
Yeah. It's an emotional day. So
this one is called The Lasagna Thief.
My girlfriend and I are both college students. She lives in an apartment on her own and I live with my parents. On Sunday, my girlfriend made homemade lasagna for our date night. She made everything from scratch, including the noodles. It was really good, so after we finished I asked if I could take lasagna home for my family to try. She said yes. When I left that night, I took the tray of lasagna with me. My girlfriend didn't walk me out, so she didn't see me take the tray. On Monday, I got a text from my girlfriend asking where her lasagna was. I told her I had taken it home for my family. She said, "I thought you were going to take some." Not the whole thing. I spent most of my food budget for the week on it with the intention to eat leftovers for the rest of the week. Now I don't know what I'm going to eat. I felt bad and apologized, but pointed out that I had asked her if I could take it home and she didn't tell me that I couldn't take the whole tray. She said it should have been obvious that I shouldn't take the whole thing since the tray was so big. To be fair to her, it was a really big tray. My family of 5 only just finished the tray yesterday after eating it for dinner both nights, but I don't think the size of the tray makes it obvious that I shouldn't take it. Monday night and last night, my girlfriend complained that she had to eat instant noodles for dinner so that she wouldn't blow her food budget. Today, she is asking me if I can buy her a sandwich since I took her leftovers for the week. It sucks that she spent her food budget on the lasagna, but I think this is her fault for not being clear that I shouldn't take the whole thing. I don't think she is justified in asking me to buy her lunch because of it. She called me an asshole for not being willing to help her out. Aida?
Okay. I think if you didn't add that last part right there, you would have been fine. But then you saying, I don't think I should have to pay for your sandwich. It's a sandwich.
Easy. You know that Moist Critical clip of him like freaking out saying misinput?
Misinput, calm down. Calm down.
This is a misinput.
I think
All
so.
right.
I don't think Reddit is going to agree. I think we're going to disagree with Reddit.
All right. Wow, that's stressful.
I think you should have just paid for the sandwich. You should have gotten her the sandwich. But also,
it's your partner. You did make they both made you made a mistake. She made a mistake. Yeah. Went over their head. It'd be nice to pay for a sandwich.
Yeah. I mean, he should have, when he took the food, you should have said, you want me to take all of this? And you're college kids, so you should have known also that, maybe not. There's a lot of things you could have done better. So here's what Reddit says.
You're the asshole, but only for not hooking her up with food to eat since you took her meal plan for the week. I get the miscommunication that happened, but you should have fixed that issue immediately and helped her out with some real food.
Yeah, another person says, right? I was 75% through the post and said, nah. And then bam, his asshole behavior came right through. Taking lasagna wasn't the asshole move. It was just a misunderstanding, refusing to help her out with the food. That's what I mean! You should have just paid for her. How expensive could it be? $5 at the most?
You were almost a good guy. You were almost like, you could have played it off. You could have played it off. And I'm sorry, I didn't know. Let me buy you something.
I would have gotten her a full-ass meal. I would have felt really bad. I would have bought her groceries.
Nah, I would have taken her to Wendy's.
I would have taken her to McDonald's and get that $5 meal deal.
Bro, that's the equivalent of instant noodles, bro.
This one is called The Horny Wife.
What the fuck was that?
So my 28F husband, 31M, had to spend 2 months in a different state for work. He came back 9 days ago. I am obviously thrilled he's back and I've missed him a lot. I was hoping we would be able to spend some time together, just the two of us. However, his mom, 56F, came over when he was supposed to come home. I was slightly annoyed, but I know she was just excited for her son to be back. However, she never left. Like I was prepared to deal with her being there for a day or two but not 9 days. Because she's been here for 9 days, we haven't had a second of time together. She insists on staying here instead of a hotel. For the record, she lives an hour away. The guest room is right next to ours and the walls are thin. When the two of us go out, she comes with us. Or makes one of us stay with her, BC, otherwise we would be bad hosts. She follows us around the house constantly. We want to cuddle and watch movies, she's sitting in the armchair. We want to go to a romantic restaurant, better make that a table for 3. We have even left her in the living room to go chat in our room and she follows us. Earlier today, I just asked her to leave, even though both of us have been hinting that she needs to go. She kept saying she wasn't ready to go yet and wanted more time with her son. I tried telling her we wanted some alone time and she kept insisting that she join us. Finally, I snapped and said, since you seem to be oblivious, I will put this bluntly. I want to fuck your son. If you don't want to see or hear, then you need to leave. This isn't the classiest response ever, but I was frustrated. Anyway, she yelled at me but eventually left. We finally got to have our alone time. But now she is blowing up both of our phones, saying that I am disgusting and have no respect for her son, or myself. She keeps telling my husband that he shouldn't be with someone so crude and how dare he let me speak to her like that. I'm sure you get the idea. I know that what I said was really inappropriate, but Aida?
The way I would go crazy if someone yelled at their mom saying, I want to fuck your son.
You shouldn't yell at them. That's wild.
I think you're not the asshole, but you did the wrong thing by yelling. You shouldn't have yelled. Here's what Reddit has to say.
Not the asshole. Crass? Yes. Asshole-ish? No. Why don't you and your husband have any boundaries with this woman? You're both adults letting her treat you like naughty teenagers. She can insist on staying with you all she wants. It's your house and your choice who stays there, and if you don't want her there, tell her no. And why is she staying indefinitely instead of this being pre-planned and everyone knows arrival and departure dates? Why did you bother hinting at all instead of just being direct from the beginning? And how is your husband responding to her blowing up your phones and calling you names? He should be telling her he won't allow her to speak to his wife like this, and laying down firm boundaries for future visits so this doesn't happen again.
The husband should have
I think this is something that the husband should have said something. I don't think this was for the wife to do anything about. Maybe talk to the husband, tell the husband to handle the situation.
Now, Aiden, there's an update.
There's a fucking update.
There's an update.
Oh my gosh.
Edit. After reading these comments, I will definitely let my husband know he needs to step up. I agree that it should have been him who made her leave. I love him to death and want to be accommodating to his fear of making her angry. She's nasty when she's angry and will turn his whole family against him. However, he needs to set boundaries.
I don't think there's a problem with being crass. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty crass, but I think the problem is you shouldn't have said that to your husband's mother, and you also shouldn't have yelled at her. Yelling at her is a big no-no.
All right.
But I'm happy that the situation's figured out. I'm happy with that ending. You liked that episode? Go ahead and click on this video here.
Did you like the episode?
Where me and Easy did a personality test, and we figured out our personalities.
Go watch our personality test video, and goodbye. Mwah.
Yeah, goodbye.